boisterous yells. As I blink my eyes open, I see the Pongo planted on Zack's face. What's going on? Zack leaps off the bed, continuing his scolding, and the Pongo scurries under the pillow. I think you scared him.
Get out of there!
He snatches the pillow to reveal the Pongo contentedly blobbing over his dischargers. The Pongo's eyes are slitted shut, and he wears a silly grin.
Don't even think about it!
Zack scoops up his discharge and forcefully gives them a shake. The Pongo's eyes snap open as he wobbles in the air, clinging for dear life.
Boy!
Zack doesn't cease his shaking, and somehow the Pongo seems to be hanging on.
Boy!
His small body jiggles up and down until he finally bounces to the floor.
Boy!
Shoot him, quick! He glares daggers at Zack, who is too busy inspecting his dischargers to notice. There's a sharp knock on the door. Barely comprehending what's going on, I shuffle to the door and open it a crack.
I heard yelling. Is everything
Until Zack shot the Pongo and put a bullet hole in the floor. She cuts off mid-sentence and her eyes grow wide. I look behind me and see Zack dangling his dischargers high in the air while the Pongo leaps up to reach it.
These aren't for you to absorb!
Boy! I'll just wait for you guys downstairs.
Before I can answer, she turns around and walks away. I can't blame her for that. I close the door and start getting dressed. A long while later, I emerge from the room with a Pongo sitting on my head. Zack has his dischargers back in their holsters and shoulders his pack. We head downstairs to meet Leanna, who is waiting at one of the tables.
Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah. As long as that thing doesn't come near my dischargers again.
Boy!
The Pongo sticks out his tongue. Leanna speaks before the two of them can start again.
Alright, then let's hit the road!
With one final nod, she leads the way out the inn and back into town. The rest of the journey towards Illumia is peaceful yet uneventful. The Pongo snoozes in my head for most of the way there. Leanna frequently sneaks a peek at him and smiles to herself. Zack keeps to himself and continues to be in the lead for her fewest lines spoken. By midday, I can see the stone buildings of Illumia. We make it through the city gates without incident. Unlike the quaint houses of Meadow Hill Village, Illumia is built taller and grander. There's more noise as people fill the streets. Zack stares down a side street.
This is me.
I crane my neck and peer into an alcove.
It's a shortcut to the inn.
Leanna nods.
Safe travels. Hopefully our paths will cross again.
Good luck at the Mage Academy.
He heads into the alley. Do you think we'll see him again? She shrugs.
Mercenaries have a way of just popping up. Let's keep moving. The Mage Academy is straight ahead, closer to the center of town.
She points to a looming tower with a high steeple. As we get closer, I see that the tower is attached to a castle. Whoa, you studied here?
Yep.
It definitely looks prestigious. She notices my wonder.
What's your academy like?
Oh, man. I'm torn between the first two. No offense to liberal art majors out there, it's just that's a very, very bad degree right now. So we'll go with party school. A paradise where the alcohol is flowing.
Isn't that distracting? What do you learn there?
Tolerance. How a boy becomes a man. Leanna blinks, then her cheeks redden.
That's a class?
It's more of a self-study. I'm a very hands-on learner. Would you like a demonstration?
I'll pass, thanks.
Leanna increases her pace and I rush to keep up. We begin making our way down the grand streets of Illumia. Once we arrive at the academy, Leanna pushes right through the wrought iron gates and leads me across the expansive quad. Students pass by in flocks, chatting animatedly. Each of them wears nearly identical long cloaks, differing only in color. Leanna glances excitedly at a girl wearing a white cloak. Do you know her?
No, but we're in the same house.
What does that mean?
You can tell by her cloak. White means she's learning wind magic.
I pay more attention to specific colors. There's white, red, blue, and green. I bet I can guess which color represents what. Wind is white. Leanna nods. Red is fire, blue is water, and green is earth. She grins.
You got it.
We walk past an enclosed field. A young man sporting a green cloak holds a book in one hand, and with his other hand, aims his manipulator straight ahead of him. His mouth is pressed in concentration, and beads of sweat line his forehead. After a few tense minutes, the earth rumbles beneath him, and dirt spikes shoot out of the ground. That was awesome.
Come on!
Leanna pulls on my arm, reverting my attention back to the task at hand. We enter the east wing of the castle and into an open foyer. There are only a scattering of students wandering these halls, and most are accompanied by an adult wearing long black robes. I assume they must be the professors. Leanna scans each professor we pass, as if looking for someone specific. She leads me up a winding staircase, then grins when she spots an older man with graying hair. His robes are pleated with white stripes, and he carries a staff in one hand.
Professor Orin!
He turns at the sound of his name and matches Leanna's grin.
Leanna, one of my best and brightest. What a pleasant surprise.
She smiles bashfully at the compliment.
It's great to see you again.
What brings you to the academy?
Actually, I'm here on official business. I'm sure you've heard of the random concentrations of magical energy by now.
He nods.
Well, I found someone who was directly impacted.
She gestures to me. I shift awkwardly as his gaze falls on me. Although he looks intently at me, I can sense his curiosity.
What exactly do you mean by impacted?
I was investigating a report of unusual magic energy in Meadowhill, and it turns out the concentrated energy originated from him.
Professor Orin raises a skeptical eyebrow.
That level of energy would tear a human apart from the inside. Are you sure you weren't mistaken?
My manipulator read the energy level. Maybe we can use the Academy's equipment to scan him again.
Yes, let's do that.
He motions for us to follow him, then turns down the hallway. So I should probably warn you now, Leanna, my clothes are staying on. We arrive in a spacious room. There's a large device on one end of the room, which is separated by a wall of glass. The device has two panels on the side, which stretch up about 8 feet off the ground. On the other side of the room are a handful of students and professors. They consistently focus their manipulators on what I assume to be magical tests, and every so often jot down notes. A couple of Pongos openly roam about the room, mostly ignored by the people. If one wanders a little too close to a crystal, a student chases it away. Otherwise, they leave each other be. I thought you said Pongos weren't really welcomed in society. Leanna looks fondly around the room, a reminiscent smile on her face.
They aren't, but mages tend to like them. Pongos absorb residue energy on the mage from casting, which is surprisingly nice. Kind of feels like a gentle massage.
Professor Orin gives her a soft nudge.
Go ahead.
She nods and turns to me.
We're gonna take another scan of you now.
You're talking about that huge thing behind the glass, right?
Yeah. It looks intimidating, but it functions the same way as my manipulator.
Alright. One of the students leads me to the device and has me stand between the two panels. There's a crystal mounted on top of each panel. As he closes the glass door behind him, the quiet mumbling of voices is muted into silence. A beam of soft light emits between the crystals and slowly descends towards my head, passing through my torso and disappearing at my feet. Once the light is gone, the same student lets me back into the room. Professor Orin looks grave, while Leanna's mouth is pressed into a firm frown.
This can't be right. Maybe we should scan him again.
Leanna, the levels that you reported would have killed this young man.
Even so, how is it possible that this scan shows he has 0 magical energy?
She holds out her manipulator. Just when we'd first met, a pale light glows. Unlike our initial meeting, as she holds her manipulator closer to me, the light remains unchanged. Leanna's face falls. Professor Orin puts a comforting hand on her shoulder.
Had he just cast it? Perhaps it was magical residue which you had read. As you know, that tends to slowly leave the body after each magic use.
She shakes her head.
It was too high a reading to just be residue.
She's fine. I don't know what's going on right now, so I'd better keep quiet. I don't want to confuse the situation even more.
Perhaps your manipulator malfunctioned and provided an incorrect read.
Leanna looks skeptical.
I suppose it's possible.
That is the most likely explanation. I should get back to my students, but I hope I get to see you again.
Professor Oren gives Leanna's shoulder one last comforting squeeze before he leaves. While our discussions have been taking place, I noticed the Pongos would watch me with interest. A green one starts to gravitate towards us. Maybe it's interested in Leanna's magic, but then why does it look like it's heading towards me?
Poi?
I look down and see my wobbly blue friend at my feet. Hey, you're back. Unfortunately. He bounces on the ground and fixes me with his wide smile. Suddenly he stops and stares at the green Pongo, who blinks back at him. He hops towards it and grins.
Poi. Poi poi. Poi.
My Pongo's eyes widen.
Poi. Poi poi.
The green Pongo grins and hops away, and my Pongo follows it. I have no idea what just happened, but why do I feel all warm and fuzzy inside? As the Pongos run off, a professor in a wheelchair rolls towards us. Although he's lost all his hair, he doesn't seem as old as some of the others.
Leanna.
So, bald, wheelchair, the name. Wow. So, let's see how they're gonna pronounce this name. She doesn't bother containing her surprise.
Professor Xavier.
Nope, they're doing it. What am I thinking? I stare hard at him and channel my thoughts. I know your secret and I want to join you. Train me as one of your mutants. He glances uncomfortably at me.
Are you feeling alright, young man?
I'm feeling just fine, thank you. Both he and Leanna share confused glances.
Alright then.
Aha! I knew it! He looks at Leanna again and she shrugs.
Professor, is there something I can help you with?
Leanna, how high was your original energy reading?
In the thousands.
He creases his brow and ponders quietly.
Tell me, are you familiar with the theory of temporal rifts?
Leanna and I both shake our heads.
In the most basic sense, a temporal rift occurs when the fabric of the universe is torn. In the midst of this tear, there is a moment where the parallel worlds overlap.
Leanna and I glance sharply at each other. Would it be possible to cross between these two worlds?
It may be in theory, but it'd be very difficult. After all, that type of travel between worlds would require an immense amount of energy, an amount that no human would be able to manipulate and survive. That's why most elders have dismissed this as nonsense. But listening to all that's been said today, it coincides quite closely with this theory.
For the first time since we arrived at the school, I begin to feel a glimmer of hope. What more can you share about this theory?
Well, not much, I'm afraid. As I said, most consider it to be either nonsense or too inconsequential to waste their time on. Although there is one man who spent his life developing and researching this theory. He used to be an instructor of this academy.
Is he still in Illumia?
Unfortunately, he left many years ago in search of Ember Mist.
Leanna purses her lips.
The hidden city.
He nods. If it's hidden, I'm guessing it will be hard to find. Before he can respond, a student with two long pigtails strides over.
Please allow me to accompany you on your quest.
Not touching this one. Professor Xavier replies sternly.
Absolutely not.
You heard him scram.
Could you elaborate on your disapproval? This is an excellent opportunity to further my research and education.
This is not a Mage Academy-sponsored expedition, so there won't be mages around to protect you. It's a dangerous journey, especially given the fact that no one knows the location of Ember Mist.
The girl stays silent. I can practically see the cogs in her head spinning as she contemplates his words. Finally, she nods.
Understood.
As soon as she finishes speaking, she turns on her heel and walks away. What just happened?
Pay her no mind. That's just how she is.
Who is she?
That's Amelia Estelle, the university's prodigy. She's only a teenager, but already a mage caster, which means she can manipulate two different elements at the same time.
I flash her a grateful smile for automatically explaining what a mage caster is. I'm guessing mage casters are usually a little older than a teen. Leanna grins.
Just a little. Most mage casters are in their 40s.
My eyes widen. She must really be something then.
Anyway, thank you for all of your help, Professor.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to be more helpful, but I wish you the best of luck on your journey.
After saying goodbye, his wheelchair moves on its own and pushes him out of the room. I knew it! He's moving with his mind!
He's actually using wind magic.
With his mind. Leanna shoots me a weird look.
What did you think of everything the professor said?
Sounds exactly like what happened to me. We should find this Ember Mist City and talk to the professor there. She nods.
Unfortunately, no one knows how to get there. Let's stop by the inn. Since it's a hub for travelers from all over, there's bound to be someone who knows something.
That sounds like her best course of action. Once agreed, Leanna leads the way out of the academy. I follow her through the twisting roads of Illumia. When asked why we were taking so many turns, she said she wanted to avoid the marketplace, which would be so crowded with people we wouldn't be able to walk through. Soon we reached the inn. The place is a lot larger than any other inn we've stayed at so far. Along with the smoothly crafted dining tables, there's a fireplace along the far wall with labeled jars on the mantel. The place is fairly busy for this time of day, and only a couple of tables are open. Per usual, Leanna speaks with the innkeeper. I see him point towards a couple by the fireplace. When she returns, she drops a key in my hand.
Here's the key to your room. I figured we're going to be spending the night here.
I nod as I pocket my key.
The innkeeper doesn't know how to get to Ember Mist, but he says that couple comes from the far desert. They might know.
Maybe we should split up. We can cover more ground that way.
Good idea. I'll go talk to that couple first.
Okay. As Leanna walks off, I survey the room. So now I'm torn between the second and third options. Like, if I wanted to do this properly, I'd ask the group. And then if I ever do cover this in full, I'd probably actually hit up all three options, just because I know you guys really like that stuff. Let's talk to the loner. Loner types usually travel the world, don't they? I approach the man, sitting alone in the far corner of the inn. His head is down as he nurses a tankard. Once I get close, I recognize him. Zach? Son of a bitch. His head shoots up and he stares at me with those familiar stoic eyes.
Oh, it's you.
Should have talked to the girl, damn it. You, finish whatever it is you came here to do?
Yep.
Cool. He's still just as talkative as ever.
You finish up at the academy?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Mages usually are.
One of them told me about the city of Ember Mist. Zach snorts.
Sending you on a wild goose chase, huh?
I guess that means you don't know where it is either.
Nope.
Well, it was worth a shot. Alright, well, it was good seeing you. He nods. Hey. I approach the pretty redhead by the bar. Hey there. She smiles.
Hi.
Are you looking to join a party?
I can be.
I sit down beside her. Have you been here long? She gives me a curious look.
Long enough to know that I haven't seen you before.
I'm just passing through.
Oh, where are you headed?
To Ember Mist. Suddenly her smile drops. That's not the reaction I was expecting.
Ember Mist doesn't exist.
I frown. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Alright, never mind then. Her smile drops again. She grabs her drink. She sways her hips as she walks and approaches the man who's drinking alone. Her alluring smile returns as she sits down beside him and touches his hand. Wait a minute, is she a consort? Let's pretend that just didn't happen. Looks like I'm not having much luck. Wonder how Leanna is doing. Judging from her pout, she had about as much success as I did. We make our way back to the bar.
Greetings.
Amelia waits for us by the bar, and I'm startled to see her presence. Leanna looks just as shocked.
What are you doing here?
I've come to accompany you on your journey.
Professor Xavier made it very clear that you were to stay at the academy.
His logic is rational, but my presence and assistance is far more beneficial for you than it is for me to remain at the academy.
What assistance?
I am aware of the location of Ember Mist.
How is that possible?
How I know is irrelevant.
Alright, if you know, then tell us where it is.
I will gladly impart this knowledge unto you should you accept me as a travel companion.
But the Academy won't let you go.
She shrugs.
If I cannot go, then I suppose neither can you.
Leanna bites her lip. I can tell she's torn. This has bad idea written all over it, dude. This is a bad idea.
I know, but she's her only lead.
Yeah, but is it worth the fury of the entire Academy? Leanna frowns.
I'm not happy about this either, but what else can we do?
We struck out when we tried to ask the patrons at the inn. Other than Amelia, I doubt we'll find anyone else who can lead us to Ember Mist. Maybe I'm in the wrong and we should take her. No, I'm just confusing myself. I don't know. Leanna runs her hand through her hair as she thinks. She steals glances at Amelia, who watches us with hawk eyes. Finally, Leanna's expression softens and she nods.
Fine. You can come with us, but only on the condition that you let us bring extra protection.
Oh, hell no.
That is a logical conclusion. I am not opposed to it.
All right. I'll see if I can find some mages last minute.
No!
Both Leanna and I stare at Amelia,
Mages will alert the Academy of our proposal.
and then they wouldn't let us go.
Correct.
I suppose that makes sense.
She taps a finger to her chin.
I guess the only other option is to hire a mercenary.
No. I grin. I have just the person in mind. I lead the two of them to where Zack is sitting.
Hey, Zack.
He looks up from his tankard. If he's surprised, he doesn't show it.
I didn't expect to see you so soon.
We were feeling a little bit of separation anxiety. To my surprise, Zack cracks a smile.
I'm actually here to do business.
Zack cocks his head slightly.
You have my attention.
We need protection for our newest companion.
She nods towards Amelia, who merely stares at Zack. He gives her a once-over.
Isn't she a mage?
Yes, but a student.
That is not an accurate description. I am...
Leanna glares at her.
A student.
While not untrue, I have fulfilled the necessary curriculum to be considered.
Amelia!
Leanna is clearly exasperated. Amelia cocks her head to the side and studies Leanna curiously. Anyway, what we're trying to ask is, are you for hire and will you accept this job? Zack pauses and takes a long swig from his drink. He looks from me to Leanna to Amelia, then pauses again. Finally, he nods.
All right.
Really? That's great. We're headed to Ember Mist.
Zack raises an eyebrow at me.
You found someone who knows the way.
Yep. I point to Amelia.
Interesting.
Alright, now that we have our team, what do we do now?
There's no point in beginning our journey when the sun is almost gone.
That's true.
I should return to the Academy before my disappearance is observed.
Good idea. We can reconvene here tomorrow morning.
The three of us leave Zack alone and Amelia heads out of the inn. Just as she leaves, a group of young adults burst in. They laugh loudly, and their cheeks are flushed as if from dancing or running. A circlet of flowers is on each of their heads. Oh great, they have hippies here too. Leanna gasps.
Oh, the festival!
Festival?
Yeah, it's a celebration of the spring equinox. Do you want to go check it out?
No, I'm tired. Actually, I think I'm gonna go to bed. Leanna looks a little disappointed, but nods.
Sure. You should rest up. We'll be setting out bright and early tomorrow.
So now you guys have something to look forward to in the full version of the game. I'll see you in the morning.
Yep. Have a good night.
After saying goodbye, I head upstairs to my room. It isn't long before I'm fast asleep. And with this, I'm putting a break in. I don't know if I'm going to separate this into two videos because I've been doing this for about an hour now. Basically, I have to see what other time I have and what else I can do to fill the schedule. So I'm not entirely sure which type of run I'm doing this, but I'm Hero. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.